We're finally back. It's been, gosh, I don't even know how long it's been since we've done the last episode of the Irrelevant Podcast, and we're doing it with video now. You can see us, what we look like. Woo!
We've already done two, but you didn't post any of them.
Yeah, because I was, maybe. Never mind. I guess we're never gonna see them because I think they're on my computer somewhere and it's lost. So
Your porn files destroyed your other files.
my what file?
Your porn files.
I don't have porn files.
We'll see.
Okay,
They're magically lost to the ether.
they're in the cloud.
They're in the cloud.
What does that even mean? In the cloud? I've never understood that.
I mean, it's just wireless data backup syncing. So it's like if you have a picture and you sync it to the cloud, you can, access it on other computers and
Other than just your device,
it's
shot it on-
digital
okay.
storage. Like Google Drive has the same thing. You have a certain amount of gigabytes you can store stuff on and access it anywhere that you can log in.
and that's backed up with the data centers.
Yeah, that's why we're destroying the earth.
Well, I know Virginia, like Northern Virginia, accounts for almost over half the internet traffic in the whole world.
Yeah, if you connect to the internet, it goes through us
Yeah,
at some certain point of its life.
well, because we're pretty much like the new Silicon Valley. Because people are moving the fuck out of Silicon Valley.
I'm so excited.
Have you been to Silicon Valley?
No, I've only ever been to LA.
Would you want to go to Silicon Valley
And
and
do
NorCal? No, just to visit and vibe.
If I with the tech bros at a fucking startup coffee shop,
Well, imagine. Do you want to do that?
I'll go make fun of them. That sounds fun.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Ah!
No, I mean Northern California. I would go to Napa, because they make
Wine country. Yeah,
I would want to try the wines out there.
I'll do a wine tour with
Yeah.
you. We'll go on that geezer bus and then just get drunk and so irreverent. Oh, it'd be so fun.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the movie Bottle Shock.
No.
That's the movie about. I think it was in the 90s, but I could. No, I think it was in the 70s. But I could be wrong. It was when they did a blind wine tasting with a bunch of French sommeliers, and they actually said that they like the American wines tasted better to them from a blind tasting.
Nah, there's no way.
And
American
then-
wine sucks dick, dude.
But that's what they said, that because from a blind tasting, and they were it was like an outrage, right? And so then the movie, it's Alan Rickman. He's a British sommelier, and he's like, you know what? How about I just go there and see how they do the wine and see if it's anything interesting. And it's cool. He goes all throughout California and visits the different vineyards and all that. It's really cool and well done.
He's dead, right?
He is dead. Yeah, he died in 2016.
Crazy.
I was in 7th grade.
You were in 7th grade in 2016?
I was.
Jesus, I was already in college.
In early
2016,
2016, I was in 7th grade.
The earth is spinning too fast. I can't take this anymore.
It's because you don't have your breathing in sync with the rotation of the Earth on its axis, man.
My breathing
You
is
know that.
syncopated with dystopia. I'm at a regular rhythm right now, dude. Can't focus.
Do you like dystopian stories?
Yeah, that's what I used to. I love reading Bradbury and Orwell as a kid. Yeah, I like it a lot because I was so cynical at a young age. So it just mirrored
Okay.
my own biased thoughts. I was like, yeah, shit sucks.
Stick it to the man,
Yeah, dude.
Punk rocker.
Fuck
man.
society.
But what's your favorite dystopian story?
I like The Giver.
I really
The
do
Giver
like The
always
Giver.
resonated
I don't know if
with
we
me.
talked about that on the podcast yet. I really like that book.
We may have briefly mentioned the movie because it had Jeff Bridges in
The movie's
it.
okay.
Yeah, but no, the book. I like the book a lot.
Yeah, that was the first book, because we read that when I was in 6th grade. That was the first book that really got me to ask questions about what really is freedom. Because
Yeah.
because the whole justification of, because it's a society with no choices, and they're like, well, there's no choices because people. There's a chance they make the wrong choice, so
There's
we
no
have
pain,
to.
so it's everything is centered around you being complacent and ignorant and blissful.
Right, and
that's the whole
but that's
point.
the thing. There's no pain, so there really is no true joy, because you
Well,
don't,
yeah, you obviously
you don't
need to-
experience the full spectrum of life. But what I liked so much about The Giver is that he's the only character that gets to learn about the real shit.
Mhm.
It's almost our own world. The dude who's the elite family passes it down to his son, and
Yeah.
he gets to see all the color and how the world really is, when it's for the masses you take your happy drug, and then it was some people say it's derivative of like Brave New World. I don't think it is. I think it was its own thing. I also really liked.
Well, I mean, art imitates life, right? Like it's a concept. Like
Everything is
no
derivative
one
of something.
No one likes duality. No one likes to go through hard shit, even though it's necessary. But the thing that always was prevalent that we're going through now is like like they always had that theme anytime someone used an adjective that was like hurtful or more complex. It was like use your precision of language. That was always the theme of the book. Use precision of language to just change it to a word that sounds better and more conforming, right?
Right. So instead of blank, what are you gonna put?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
But it was amusing because I watched this video of this like hot topic debate where they're saying there's a discussion. I think it was on Threads where someone was like, if you use big words in a story and you don't have the option to dumb it down for like disabled readers, it's ableist.
What?
It's the dumbest shit take I've ever heard in my life. And it's like every dystopian novel we've ever read is just coming into fruition into our daily lives. So it's like if you rob yourself of complex thought and complex words, like you're just rife to be just a slave for your whole entire life.
Well, that was 1984, because like they intentionally in this society would like dumb down the speech to inhibit people. Like there was a list of like approved words, and like you couldn't go outside of that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's all it's themes. Like it's just we're going through it. People always like, oh, idiocracy is the accurate representation of society. It's just like no, bro. It's not there yet, but it's getting there.
Were you ever into like the pop dystopia, like Hunger Games, Maze Runner?
I like the Maze Runner a lot more.
Should I get into that? I've never read it. I've never seen it. All I know is that it's a dude who runs through a maze. That's it. And he has to get out, but it's timed, and like he has to get out before the time ends or something. That's all I know.
No, it's way more than that. I don't want to say what it is because it spoils the premise. Like you're supposed to figure it out as you go along and watch it. But
okay.
the Hunger Games is like I liked watching it as a kid. But like it's a really well thought out premise, but the execution is like kind of boring.
Well, I heard the books are actually really good.
I mean, it's like the book's better than the show, the movie, XYZ,
Well, that's just from what I've heard.
Yeah.
But even so, a lot of people tell me that, like, the movies are, like, the first couple of them are good, and then the later ones are, like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's most franchises. Right? It's like first one good, second one probably better, and then after that, it just, like, goes downhill. Right? Name that take, dude. When someone's wrong about 17 different levels, like you just don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, they drink the current drink and watch the current thing, the way that it goes.
I mean, what even is the current thing? I don't know. I could not even tell you.
I don't know. I've been so out of the loop culturally. Like I
guess those movies that came out, like Obsession. Everyone was. I haven't seen it yet, but
I thought it was gonna be terrible because I like horror movies, and I was just like, even if it's a shitty horror movie, it's usually somewhat entertaining. You get some value out of watching it because of how bad it is. That was actually better than I thought it was gonna be.
So I should watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's pretty good.
That one and it was Obsession and Backrooms.
I haven't seen Backrooms, but again, like
maybe we should watch and do a podcast on it.
I'm down.
Yeah, that'd be good because I need an excuse to watch it.
I mean, it's one of those things where like they take like an obscure internet meme from a couple of years ago and turn it into a movie. So it's like, how far can they stretch out this premise? That's the only thing.
Depending on what you find on the internet, you can find some interesting shit.
No, I'm just saying like creating a story from it. You know what I mean? Like if you go on, there's like a whole fandom for the Backrooms. Like people like make all these levels and they write all this fan fiction for it. Like there's a whole universe that people have made just from one image.
Oh, it's like a universe?
Yeah. And that's what they kind of made the movie off of. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was one image that was kind of uncanny, and it turned into this whole creepy pasta that everyone just started adding their own little things to, and now it's a movie. But I heard that people are giving A24 shit because they were trying to copyright anybody that does Backrooms content. But I think it was like an automatic like thing that they're trying to mitigate with their software. I don't know if they're actually following it up or not with litigation, but...
I mean, people just don't like A24 because they think they're pretentious.
I just think their movies aren't good anymore. Like, it's just, they've gotten too big,
I forget which ones are which. Like, is The Lighthouse an A24 movie? That's a good movie.
I don't know if it's there. I know, like, what was it, Robert Eggers?
Robert Eggers, yeah.
Eggers. So I know I don't know if it's an A24 movie.
I think it is, because he would do deals with them, I think. But
it was like Midsommar, Heredity.
Yeah, Midsommar, actually,
Hereditary,
I watched for the first time this year. And obviously, you can probably tell that that's not my type of movie.
Probably not.
But I gave it a chance, and of course, like, I don't think I'm ever gonna watch it again. And like, I can say that like it's well made and like it's an objectively good movie, but just some of the stuff in it, I'm like, okay, that is just gross, man. Like, I don't want to see that.
What was the point?
Or I don't know if you've seen The Wicker Man.
No.
You would really like The Wicker Man. I don't know if you're familiar.
I've never even heard of it.
Well, so Midsummer takes a lot of inspiration from The Wicker Man. So The Wicker Man is about a Scottish police officer who is sent to some like remote Scottish island or something to investigate a missing child, and he slowly discovers that everyone on the island's in on it.
Oh shit.
And they all practice, like they've all retained, like the pre-Christian Celtic paganism.
Mm-hmm.
And so he, throughout the movie, he's being led along to become the human sacrifice. It's a human sacrifice cult, and it's really really interesting, and like and so the character is a Christian, but I thought it was really refreshing because they didn't just like, you know, shit all over him, like write him as like, oh, he's just like, you know, the lame Christian. Like they actually had really good ideas in it, you know. And the bad guy, the villain, is Christopher Lee.
Nice.
Yeah, he plays the lord of the island, and obviously he's Christopher Lee. So and in horror, it's his bread and butter. Like he was Dracula, Saruman, right?
He's perfect for that kind of role. It's born for him.
Oh yeah, no, he was really into metal.
Yeah, he made an album, didn't he?
I think he did.
A whole metal album at like 80 years old.
Yeah, he loved metal. He also did like voiceovers, I think, for like, I think he didn't know it was that, but like it was like porn or some shit.
What?
Like he didn't realize what he was doing. It was like a narration for like a.
How do you narrate porn?
I don't know.
What?
Okay, but take this with a grain of salt. I just remember hearing some weird thing about, because you know he was into the occult for a little bit.
I didn't know that. Like he has like a massive collection of occult books in his library.
Yeah, and then he at the end of his life warned everyone to not get involved into it.
Yeah, don't cast spells because your teacher's hot.
I mean, bro.
So you did.
But I'm like, bro, like Saruman, like you kind of make the occult look really cool. Like, come on, Saruman is cool.
Let's see. Did Christopher Lee narrate porn?
He's fact checking me right now.
Yeah, because that's he was in a softcore porn film.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I don't know. This is on Reddit though, so take this with a very autistic grain of salt. Unwillingly, he appeared as the on-screen narrator in Jess Franco's Eugene in 1970. Eugenie. As a favor to a producer, Harry Alan Towers, unaware that it was softcore pornography, as the sex scenes were shot separately.
Okay.
Is the rumor on the streets, apparently. Who knows?
Well, either way, I think you should watch The Wicker Man.
I will. Sounds like something I'd watch. It also sounds like a more serious version of Hot Fuzz. You ever see Hot Fuzz?
I have seen Hot Fuzz.
It's like the whole town's in that cult.
They're all involved. Yeah. That
reminds me of.
movie, like, I understand why people like it. It just doesn't really.
You don't like it?
Not really.
I feel like you of all people like that dry British sarcasm, Monty Python type humor.
No, I tend to like that, but like British humor is kind of hit or miss for me, because I really like the Roald Dahl. You know, like all the adults are like just evil and stuff like that. That stuff is hilarious. Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is hilarious, but I don't like that movie. I just couldn't get into it.
Did you watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I've not seen that. Is that good?
I think it's good. I mean, it's
okay.
It's kind of stupid, but it's kind of like eccentrically stupid. Like it's not predictable. Like it has like that element of like fever dream.
Okay.
So I like it a lot.
It's a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
What is it about?
It's about you know Martin Short.
Yes.
He's in that. He's like the main character in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, basically he's
like the Martin Short.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's in that movie, and basically he goes on. I didn't want to spoil it. It's so funny. He goes on this journey with like a bunch of aliens and shit, and like it's fucking
okay.
Because
I guess I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. It's fun.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, because you know Hot Fuzz is part of the trilogy, right?
Yeah.
I've seen the first one in that trilogy, and I also like it's really the director. Like, I don't like his.
You like Simon Pegg?
No, I like Simon Pegg.
Well, I think he directs and writes.
No, the director's Edgar Wright.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who made like Scott Pilgrim, and I don't like that movie.
You don't like Scott Pilgrim? That's such a cult classic.
It's just like millennial.
It is
like,
a little millennial coded. I know it's a little millennial, but it also came out during that era. So
Well, I mean, the
kinda,
action I think is pretty entertaining, but
Yeah.
like in general, it's just like, and also like Michael Cera is just like really annoying. I like him in Superbad, and that's pretty much it. But like he's literally been playing the same character since Superbad.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, we gotta watch Superbad.
I haven't seen that movie in so
Yeah,
long.
I haven't seen it forever. We got to do a reassessment of Superbad.
I'm down. I remember when I was in middle school, I really I was like, oh, this is gonna be my high school experience. I was so excited. I remember my mom was taking me clothes shopping. She said, "What kind of clothes you want to go?" Like, "Oh, I want cargo shorts, a graphic tee, and like a button down over it." Like I want to dress. Yeah, I want to dress like a high schooler. I'm so excited.
Oh gosh.
High school sucked dick, dude. It was so boring.
Yeah, you went to Osborne,
Yeah, doxed my school. That's where I went.
and like, did you learn anything valuable?
No, well, the only thing.
Yeah, when you really think about.
Well, no, because like it's just the American school system. You know, they just cram a bunch of
Yeah.
information for you just to take a test, and that's it. You forget it the next.
Yeah,
fucking
once
semester.
you take the test, you don't even know
Yeah.
what the test was even about.
The only thing that I enjoyed was I did I liked writing like critical thinking opinion pieces on civics and stuff that I read in literature.
Okay.
So that's the only thing that I remember that I enjoyed. And I took some architectural drafting. Like I got pretty good at using AutoCAD.
Okay.
Lockheed Martin was actually taking kids out of high school straight into their drafting program if you were just certified in AutoCAD, and I should have done it, but
I mean, we live
well.
in the Lockheed Martin industrial
yeah,
complex.
Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Palantir bullshit.
Does Palantir have offices here?
I'm sure they do. They probably don't mark them, but
Well, I mean, they're around there. No.
let's see it. Let's see if I Google Palantir on maps. Let's see if it takes 45 minutes. to
Yeah, it's
get
probably
there
not.
from
It's
here.
just gonna be like some like
Fucking
random.
Fairfax or
It's
some
not gonna
shit.
be called that.
Yeah, they're gonna out. Palantir.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Palantir Technologies. It's right.
It's
in,
literally right there.
Dude, it's right by the fucking waterfront.
On the Potomac River.
Yeah, right by
Is
Georgetown.
that in Maryland?
No, it's by Georgetown. It's right in DC.
Oh yeah.
Palantir Technologies.
Yeah. You know, I actually like hanging out at Georgetown. I don't know when's the last time you've been there.
Long time ago.
Georgetown is a vibe.
Why you like all the boutique clothing shops and little coffee and donut things? You like hanging out there with all the other brunch libs?
Yeah, I mean
Brunch
it's just fun to like just see all the dumb shit there.
Yeah, I
You
bet.
know, it's a confidence booster.
Did you take a picture on the Exorcist steps?
No, I'm not. But I know that people do that, and I
Yeah.
didn't even really know that until after I had already been there all the time.
Yeah.
But you know, Georgetown is the university that has the most people in the CIA. like people who
Wouldn't shock me. The whole place
it's
looks
the
like
university
a
with
fucking
the most people
psyop.
who go on to the CIA.
Yeah, it would make
Yeah.
sense. Or like law. Like a lot of people have law degrees from GW.
George Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, George Washington's in D.C. I mean, D.C.'s got a lot
Georgetown.
of.
GW's in Georgetown.
No, but you know how oh no, I'm thinking of GWU. You know, George Washington University.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's different than Georgetown.
Is Georgetown a university?
Yeah,
I
Georgetown's
thought-
a university.
I thought GW was the university in Georgetown.
Well, Georgetown is it's like a municipality, and it's also a
Oh yeah.
well, because you know how it used to be Washington District of Columbia, and it was also Georgetown District of Columbia. It was like its own city, but
Dude.
now it's been incorporated into DC.
Do you hear that discourse, like, for, you know, because Virginia's changing governor, or changed governor, so a bunch of laws and all that, but they're saying to give Alexandria and Arlington back to DC to complete the square.
They're trying to do that.
They were, well, not trying to, they were proposing, they were talking about it, because it was part of DC at one point.
I mean, hey, at least it would make a square and make all the OCD people happy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And people are like, why is
Less
DC
autism.
drawn so dumb? Oh, because it used to be part of
Mhm, yeah.
It used to be a square.
I mean, if anything, I'm like, well, then that'll put the people with the most political power in the state outside the state.
I mean,
If anything, yeah.
they all live here anyway. Like, no one lives in fucking D.C. They all live right across Potomac in Great Falls or Arlington anyway.
No, I know quite a lot of people that live in D.C. But I see what you're saying though.
Like if you want a mansion, you go out here. You don't go to fucking Maryland. Just too expensive.
But Maryland's got nice mansions though. Like
around that whole region they do.
Like on the
west
Potomac River,
yeah,
that is
on
like some of the
Potomac, yeah.
nicest houses like you will ever see ever.
Well, it's because it's on the river. You can go to West Virginia and see those nice McMansions on the river. It's just river property.
Yeah, dude, in West Virginia, you get a fucking mansion for $300,000.
Yeah,
I
go buy
think
a
that's pretty
$300,000
cool.
mansion, Will.
Well,
live
no,
in West Virginia.
Well, then you have to exactly live in West Virginia. But I mean, West Virginia's beautiful.
Yeah, they're building.
We
it,
gotta take like 1 weekend. We just go out there and just sightsee.
Go to Harper's Ferry. You've been to Harper's Ferry?
I have not been to Harper's Ferry.
Really?
I want to go though.
If you want sightseeing, that's the sightseeing.
No, because like I've been to like Charlestown and
close.
yeah, and like Cape and Bridge. I think I've been there. But I don't think I've ever actually been to Harper's Ferry. I know that there's a lot of cool like historical stuff there, like because it's like there was like a slave rebellion there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
John
yeah,
Brown's
I would
Rebellion.
see that. Oh, we got to go to that part of Maryland that like is like past Harper's Ferry. You know that part that like hooks.
Yeah.
I want to go to that part of Maryland.
Yeah, there's a city called Cumberland where it's kind of like a mountain, picturesque kind of town.
Yeah.
You like Cumberland. Yeah.
I would. Have you been to that part of Maryland?
Yeah, I have.
And it's nice, right?
Yeah, it's serene, you know.
Yeah.
If you like the small mountain town, very quiet, kind of cozy vibe with nothing to do, you'll like that place.
Well, yeah, because everyone just does stuff in other places. People just like sleep there, pretty much.
Well, I mean, it is like a little.
I mean, that's all we
there's-
freaking do in our houses nowadays,
Well, I know,
anyways. We
but
just
what
sleep.
I'm saying
'cause
is,
we gotta
like, there's
work
just,
80
like,
hours
this-
a week.
It's standard like shops and boutique stores, like it's little eateries and shit, coffee shop. It's like that
Okay.
small town kind of vibe. There's nothing else to do but eat and shop. You know.
Like Old Town Manassas.
You want to go axe throwing, buddy? You want to throw an axe at a wooden fucking board? That sounds fun. While we drink beer.
That's like an every
Sounds
bar.
great. I know. That's my point, motherfucker.
I mean, throwing axes is fine. I mean, like cornhole is probably more entertaining.
I'm gonna throw an axe at a cornhole board. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna disrupt. I'm gonna fuck the game up.
You're gonna be like Shiva the Destroyer.
Yeah.
You're the paradigm shift.
Mhm.
Like y'all are playing the game and y'all are, one hole down and one. It's all doesn't matter. Nothing matters in this godforsaken world.
It doesn't, dude. I feel bad for kids growing up today. They're so fucked.
I don't even know what
Oh
kids
my
these
God.
days are doing.
Do you still want kids?
Well, yeah.
Good luck, bro. Good
That's
fucking
just part of life. Bro.
I don't know what it is. Like, you being a father is funny to me. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's not a dig, but just like you, like carrying a little version
No,
of you. It's
I
just
know.
so fucking
Yeah,
funny.
like you just it's like the meme of like Obama, like like where he's giving the medal to like the other Obama.
Yeah,
It's like that.
I can't imagine like a conversation with you and like a fucking like 12-year-old version of you. Like, that's insane to me. Like, you guys are the dumb. Like, you just
Did you
stand there.
do your homework? No, I don't think I'm ever gonna ask my kids.
You're like
to do
showing each
homework.
other memes that you made, and they're both fucking retarded.
You're like, yo, Dad, you made memes back in the day. What were those like? I don't know, son. I'm not showing that to you.
I can't see myself pairing anything either. That's why I'm not gonna do it. But
You're not gonna have kids.
I wouldn't say that. My girl will get mad at me. I probably will.
Or are you dating Jordan?
No.
Still or no? That's long.
That's long gone.
Oh, who's your girlfriend now?
I'm not gonna do this with you on camera, bro.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we can't really talk about that. I don't know. I didn't know that, man. Sorry, we haven't really.
Yes, we did.
We haven't really seen each other.
We've talked
in a
about it
while.
like every single time since I've been here.
Oh wait, yeah, she's like Dominican. Oh yeah. Okay, no. It's all coming back. Sorry, dude, my brain doesn't work like that.
You sure you don't
It's
smoke
all
weed anymore?
Yes, I'm sure, dude.
You gotta stop drinking.
I remember
bro.
now. Yes, bro. Just chill. Just chill, dude. Anyways, yeah. So Maze Runner, is that on Disney Plus? Because I would watch that.
Probably.
I haven't.
All that young adult shit. Disney wants to sexualize children, so it's probably on there.
Probably, but then of course they won't let Corey in the House be on Disney Plus because you know what happened with that, right?
No. Oh wait, is he on drugs or something?
The actor
Yeah.
was
he's fucked.
he was accused of I think he's in jail actually now for child porn.
Oh, well then they should love him.
But then I'm like, he's in the Raven show anyway, so why don't they just take that one down? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know, dude. It's,
Plus, everyone wants to watch it because of the memes.
yeah.
Like, come on. And it's not even that bad of a show.
I don't even remember. It was on like a couple times. I've seen it in passing when I was like, had the stomach flu when I was home.
It's just like the concept of it was like, because like that era, it's just the concepts they were coming up with were just so funny. Like, yeah, like it's a show about the dude whose dad is like the chef for the president. Oh man. Oh man. 9/11.
What's your favorite holiday?
Holiday.
You celebrate 9/11? I don't know if you celebrate it in this house.
Is that like a meme that's going around? Like people are celebrating 9/11?
No, I'm just asking you personally. This is an interpersonal question.
No.
Have you ever been to Ground Zero? Have you ever felt
So
the
this
heaviness
is
in
where
the
the
air?
first guy got AIDS. No, Peter. This was the site of the 9/11 terrorist attack. Oh, so it was Iraq? No, it was a bunch of like Saudi Arabians funded by Pakistani shelter. So you're saying Saddam Hussein did it? No. So we need to go invade Iraq? No. Well, we invaded Iraq.
Back with the bits, are we?
Yeah, I think so.
Here's a good podcast question. Who do you think started 9/11?
Well, we can't say that on this show.
It's your show. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care about anything anymore. The government won. I'm so apathetic. I don't care about anything. They won. They got my ass, dude. They got me.
I mean, 9/11 was false flag, right? I don't think it's controversial of me to say that.
No.
But
it's right off the gate, though. Let's go.
If you want to understand 9/11, what I tell people,
okay,
go watch the Star Wars prequels.
Jesus, you're so fucking.
Bear with me for a second.
Why?
What do you know? Can I say what I want to say?
Yes, you can.
Dude, you're so intolerant. You're so bigoted, man.
I feel like no matter what podcast we do, it always goes back to fucking Star Wars, bro.
I don't talk about Star Wars. It's just movies in general, I guess.
Oh
it's not just Star Wars.
It's
How many times have I actually talked about Star Wars?
We had a whole series about the fucking Clone Wars and the animated fucking series.
That was one episode.
It was one episode, but then you referenced like every fucking podcast.
It's not just Star Wars. It's just it's all these. Well, yeah, because
all right, how does Star Wars coincide to the prequel of 9/11?
Because Star Wars shows like the prequels literally show you the inner workings of the deep state. Because it's like just listen to me. Because Emperor Palpatine is running controlled opposition.
What religion is Emperor Palpatine?
He's like Satanism, like the Sith,
okay.
right? No, but like I'm being serious. Like you remember how he's literally doing controlled opposition. He's running both sides, right?
Who also runs both sides,
right? And so he has control over.
Say
it. So keep in mind when Obi-Wan is on Geonosis. And he's infiltrating the secret meeting, right? Count Dooku is meeting with the banking clan, the Trade Federation, and the Techno Union. So he has control over usury, the economy, and technocracy, or technology, right? And he's funding both sides. That's the world. That's the real world, man. What, are you going to tell me that's not?
No, it is how the world works.
Right, and so he stages the false thing, on the Jedi, and he's like, oh, now we need to wipe out all the Jedi, because, you look, see, they tried to threaten our democracy, so then now we need to have this global world order surveillance state because of some false flag, right?
So in this metaphor, who is the real life Palpatine?
It is a coalition of... I was tempted to throw a name out there, but it's a coalition, obviously, of big moneyed elites, technocrats. It's not like what people really need to understand is it's not really politicians, because politicians are just mouthpieces for the people who really influence things, right? And I think that
smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, right. And so I think when you watch the Star Wars prequels, you see that how there's meetings, there's the Senate meetings, which are fake and don't do anything, and then there's behind the scenes actual stuff that's happening, right? And people meet, like in The Godfather, when they have the meetings of the five families. It's very much like that, because it's just like Jay Dyer talks about how like it's essentially just organized crime at an extremely high level, right? Syndicates, blackmail, compromise, and all that kind of stuff, right?
I mean, I feel like you can argue back and forth of who actually was responsible, but the one thing that people always say was that the United States government had prior knowledge, but they just chose to let it happen.
Yeah. I think at least most people can agree on that now.
I feel like that's well.
Like
I don't,
they
I mean,
knew
who
it was
fucking
gonna
knows?
happen.
Like, I don't know, but I mean, it makes sense.
Like that, it wasn't necessarily an inside job, but it was at least they knew about it.
Yeah, it's like they found a way to politically align it with what they wanted to do for the future.
Because then it's false flags. Because then they
Yeah.
could use this as now we need to set up this whole
Yeah.
war on terror for the
Surveillance
military
state.
industrial complex.
Yeah,
Exactly.
surveillance state.
Yeah.
Now we have flock cameras.
Woo! Oh, dude, the stuff that's going on in the UK right now, like with the IDs and all that, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard like in passing. I haven't delved into it. Everything is just fucked. I refuse to pay attention anymore. It's like whatever. Just why don't we all just kill each other and just get it over with? Like that's where we're headed. Like let's just do it.
Well, how about we just
end this planet?
we not kill each other and we just work together like how we're supposed to as human beings?
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be real. That'd be real swell. That'd be awesome.
It would be, right?
That'd be so great.
But the problem is
That'd make me so
we
happy.
live in the same world as Peter Thiel. Gay Nazi.
He's a fucking weird guy, dude.
He
Him
is,
and
yeah.
whoever his business partner is.
His husband?
What?
Yeah, he's
The
gay.
curly
right?
haired guy? No, I know Peter Thiel's gay, but the other guy that runs Palantir. He's
Oh,
curly, he's crazy
gosh,
hair,
yeah,
he's
I
really
don't-
fucking weird.
I don't know what his name is, but I know what you're talking about.
That's not his husband, is it?
No, his husband's some other dude. I don't think his cousin.
Whoever the other guy is in Palantir is fuck. That guy needs to be in an asylum. That dude's fucking
Probably,
wild.
yeah.
He's got some weird sexual thing going on. Like I want to see his files. That's what I want to see.
Well, you know what the Palantir is, right? In Lord of the Rings?
I don't.
Because he
remember.
named it after Lord of the
Yeah, I
Rings.
know. I don't remember what they are.
It's like those. It's the Seeing Stones, right? Palantir in the Elvish language means far seer, right? And so Saruman could look into that, and like Saruman had his own surveillance state, because that's what, like when people realize now is that like Tolkien was talking about all this stuff because he was, he worked in Oxford, right? He was around all these very elite people.
Well, he was a spy, wasn't he? Or he was in some sort of Secret Service?
He was not himself a spy, but he did cryptographic work for British intelligence, like decoding Nazi.
Am I thinking of Ian McKellen or Christopher Lee? Like one of those two.
Christopher Lee was.
Okay, that's what I
He
was
was part of, I think, MI6 or
Yeah.
whatever the, like the field operatives and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because like he was part of.
Wait, is MI6 real? Is that a James Bond thing?
MI6 is real.
Is it? I
And
thought
that's-
MI5 was actually like the MI6 was like the secret like next step up from MI5.
Well, regardless of what it is, that's like the
Yeah.
field people that work for British intelligence, right? And so Tolkien decoded various, encryptions and like radios from like the Axis and whatnot, because he knew he was like the language dude. He knew, I don't even know how many languages he knew, right? But he was around a lot of these very big money elite people. And so now people are reassessing, oh wait, maybe he was writing into his stories what we were going to see, and we're seeing it, right? With Palantir, the Seeing Stones, the surveillance state, right? Because have you read Esoteric Hollywood yet? Did I give you that?
You mentioned it, I haven't read.
Yeah, okay, because my other friend
I've been on
hasn't
like
read
on
that,
a
but-
classic Italian literature kick recently.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Some Dante, some Machiavelli, and I'm on that kick right now.
So you've been reading The Prince and stuff like
Yeah, I'm
that?
halfway through it right now.
Yeah, The Prince is I mean, obviously I don't agree with what he's saying, but it's still worth reading.
I think he gets a bad
Um,
rap though, because like he's just being like kind of like non-partial, like saying like what you have to do to become a good leader, and like the examples of the triumphs and the failures of people before you. So it's like I think he kind of gets a bad rap for being too like nihilistic in that sort of sense, or
I mean, he kind of is though. I mean, it's just because like it's just so.
because he wrote it while he was in exile.
Yeah, but it's just I just don't think that. I mean, I think he understands human nature very well, and that is very insightful. But I just don't think his moral applications are correct. If that makes sense.
What do you think is moral application of that?
Like, because it's essentially just might makes right, and obviously I don't think that's right.
Is what?
Might makes right, like will to power stuff.
I mean, you also got to take into the time period that they lived in too.
Yeah, but it's just like it's the problem with like pragmatism, right? Where it's like they don't at that time. That's like when Europe was becoming really secular. Like they don't. Like
He
people
wasn't
don't.
secular, was he?
I think he was. Yeah,
Machiavelli?
he was not a Christian. Because he like in The Prince. I don't know what point you got. He makes fun of the church a lot of times.
I'm halfway through it. I didn't get a. He mentioned something about Pope Julius, but I don't remember.
Pope Julius was actually the might makes right Pope. Actually,
I can't remember if he was praising him or not. I just read it.
that's probably the Pope he would like, because that was like the warrior Pope.
Okay.
But basically, it's like he coined like the ends justify the means, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, as a Catholic, I
So like you either have to like confide in your enemies or crush them totally or some shit like that. Like you either love them or kill them.
Yeah, I just don't think it's really that either or, honestly.
I think your phone's fucked.
Shoot. Oh, that's just battery. Never mind, we're good.
Was your battery about to die?
It just says low battery, so it's probably like 20%. We should be fine. Anyways, what was I even talking about before? Machiavelli.
Palantir and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, Tolkien. But there's something before that.
I don't know. We jump topics every 5
We
minutes.
do, yeah.
Bro.
That's the nature of the podcast.
We go
You guys
crazy
know
with
this.
like referencing shit that requires way more focus than what we say.
Yeah, but Dante, man, Dante is just awesome. I love Dante.
Yeah. I've been going on like a Easton Press kick because like they have really cool leather bound stuff. So I've been going and buying like all the classic shit. So people always say that his not Inferno. What the hell's the Divine Comedy is great. So
That's all three of them
all of
together.
them. Yeah.
I've only read Inferno, but I mean Inferno that's the most famous one.
There's a lot of people that say that he wrote a lot of Gnostic principles in the Divine Comedy.
Oh yeah, there's some influence there because of like the. Because you know Italy was like big into like the Hermeticism and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
like he puts a little bit of that in there, kind of like Shakespeare.
I still don't understand because like I get like historically why they think it was heresy like against the church and all that, but like why do like people in the modern times still feel that way? Because like every time I've read stuff, like it doesn't.
Right. Well, I mean,
it just seems like the only thing obviously it's conflicting of like.
it's because it teaches a different mode of salvation, right? Because for
it's
Gnosticism,
just wisdom, like it's like,
right?
it's like taking it and like using
Gnosticism
wisdom.
believes it's not mere knowledge or wisdom, but it believes that
Well, that's how
Gnosticism
you-
believes that you're saved through what you know, which in Christianity you're saved through Christ, not just mere knowledge.
Yeah, but
right?
you still have to know it, so it's like I don't understand why the two are like not mutually exclusive.
No,
Like,
you do, but also like Gnosticism attempts to do all of the stuff outside of the church, which you're not allowed to do.
like what?
Present an alternative mode of salvation, right? And there's no salvation outside of the church.
It just seems like it's a very literal like analysis on a metaphor. So it's like you know when I want to hear like achieving salvation through wisdom. So it's like it's
Well,
a
I
very
mean-
vague thing to say. So
well-
it's like why is that antithesis? To
Well, I mean, there's that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of Gnosticism. Kind of like how like you know how like there's like you know like we know we believe alchemy is wrong, but like alchemy there's like literary alchemy and stuff like that.
Wait, why do you
and
believe
whatnot.
alchemy is like turning shit into gold or like this the metaphysical?
Well, yeah, because that's magic. You can't practice magic.
So do they think modern chemistry is magic then?
Kind of.
So you get to modern chemistry.
Oh, I mean, science is rooted in like all this kind of occult shit. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I mean, you have to
Some really-
believe in
there's-
both of them, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, there's some very, I mean, like, and it's not really like a conspiracy take. Like, there's mainline academic books that talk about that, like how science comes out of like masonry and esotericism and stuff like that. Not all of physical science is wrong, right? Because obviously, physical science is amoral, right? But alchemy, it's like that's magic. You can't practice magic, right?
I don't know. I think it's fear mongering. Like every text that I've ever read, like the only difference is like when they have like different like if you read like the Nag Hammadi scriptures or like the Book of Enoch or stuff that's like
Well, the Book
totally
of Enoch
like
isn't Gnostic. The Book of Enoch is not a Gnostic work.
I'm saying like when you read stuff that's not like of the Catholic Churches, what they just determine as divinely inspired. Like you read like it's an alternative account.
Well, the Book of Enoch is interesting because it's not part of canon, but we believe it has a valid tradition. So, like, it's not inherently immoral to read the Book of Enoch, but it's not like you would read the Book of Enoch in the same way you would read Dante's Inferno, right? Because, like, just because Dante says that, just because he put all these people in hell,
Well, it's
he's not writing doctrine.
Well-
It's literature.
Well, no, he's
Right.
like it's fictional. He's making a story.
Yeah,
It's
so
not-
the
it's not
Book
supposed
of
to be-
Enoch is as well as fictional, right?
how do they determine it's like they didn't even know who wrote it? It was like it's found like wasn't it found in like in the Dead Sea Scrolls too?
No, the Book of Enoch. I mean, I'm not
found it?
entirely sure with the history.
So that's
but,
just old.
No, it's very old, right? So basically, because you know, how, like the Bible wasn't just like one book that existed, right? Like they had to come together and figure out what should go in the Bible.
Yeah.
Because the Bible's a library. It's
That's what
not
I'm
just
saying.
one book.
Like the oldest accounts we have are from the Dead Sea Scrolls, and that was I think the Book of Enoch was part of those scrolls too, wasn't it?
Well, that's why we believe it's. I mean, maybe some of the facts. I'm not an expert on this, but I'm pretty sure it's like we believe it's a valid tradition. It's just not part of canon, right? Because there's things in it that just wouldn't make sense with the rest of.
Well, no,
Scripture.
it's like contradictory.
Yeah, that's why it
that's-
can't be in canon. But like obviously, like the Ethiopian church
They
has
still
it.
have it, yeah, because they
They
have
have
like
the
the oldest
longest
Bible on
canon.
earth, don't they?
Yeah, they have the Ge'ez Bible, is what it's called.
The gay ass Bible.
Ge'ez Bible. Well, Ge'ez, like Ge'ez. That's it's essentially their equivalent to Latin. It's like their sacred language,
Yeah.
which I don't know if you've seen with like the cool looking like alien
Yeah,
script.
it looks cool as fuck.
It is a really cool
Their
script.
language looks cool.
And the Amharic, the language that it's descended from, that is still written, and it just looks
Yeah,
so cool.
it looks cool as shit.
Yeah, those letters, like it just looks so unlike any other script. But so the Ge'ez Bible has the largest. It has the largest quantity of books in their canon of any of the apostolic churches. Right, the apostolic churches being like Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodox Church, and the Oriental Orthodox churches, which is Ethiopia is part of the Oriental Communion.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Well, what I was just explaining just giving you like a crash course.
Oh, you just stopped abruptly. I was
Well,
like,
I mean, what did you think I was gonna say? I was just telling you that. I thought you were gonna say something.
oh,
Late stage capitalism, guys. We've come to it.
you normally just don't stop so abruptly. You usually like end it with a.
I was expecting you to kind of riff off it. You know how it is, dude. We fell off, man. We're out of practice. We can't riff anymore, man.
I mean, the only thing that I don't know, like it's such a messy way that to me, like the Bible that was made. So it's like,
But how do you know what is supposed to go in?
Well, that's
that?
my point.
Well, that's why we have the church to tell us.
but
that.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, like this.
Well, I understand why it might feel weird, but that's just how God set it up, right?
It's just, don't you think it's convenient that they're the ones that get to do that? Like humans get to decide. You know what I mean? Like when you really sit and think about it.
Well,
You
that's
have,
why
like, a
God
bunch
gave
of-
us the church to be the voice of reason among men, right? And the church has fallen. It's gone through so much shit,
I
and
don't
it's
know,
still
dude.
here. You know what I mean?
It's just like when you look at all the other like writings and contexts that are like far older, you know what I mean? It's just
Well, why does being older don't mean that it's true?
because they have to get some sort of account. Like somebody had to find it, and because obviously like it's been written down traditionally throughout years, and that's like
Yeah.
they use those scrolls to corroborate with what was written
Well,
for the most part, right?
I mean, also keep in mind, like, for Protestants it's very different, but for Catholics, like, because obviously we don't believe that all of our teachings are derived from the Bible. Like, we're not a religion of the book. The book is of our religion, right? So, like, if it turned out that something in the Bible was like,
yeah, you still have to know where it came from, and like saying like.
But
like,
we
if
do
you-
know where it
If
came
you get
from.
all of your information for your religion from these parts of the book, then you have to like.
no, but we it's very well tested where every part of the Bible comes from. I mean, it's.
Well, but that's what I'm
It's not
saying. So
really
it's like they use the
controversial.
Dead Sea Scrolls as an external corroboration from like the written tradition, like
Yeah, but
throughout
before
the
that,
years.
we had the canon.
But what I'm saying is like from those scrolls,
Right.
it corroborated what people were writing down for thousands of years that passed down the line. Is what I'm saying. When they found it, it was like. It was a testament to like this. It's kind of miraculous thing. Like a lot of it wasn't lost in translation. It was the actual count of what was written on those
Well,
scrolls.
yeah, it was because I'm not too familiar with the Dead Sea Scrolls, but didn't it like kind of affirm
That's what I'm
the
saying.
already? Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like it
and
affirmed.
so that's why we had the
corroborated, like-
church to tell us what was the canon, right?
That's what I'm saying. So when you find other scrolls that were of that same, because like we haven't found all of them, they're fragments, right? So it's like what we know of the Bible is what's been found.
Well,
for the most part.
No, yeah, and obviously, like, I'm pretty sure there's a passage in the Bible that talks about that, how, like, or maybe it's, like, tradition, someone said, like, I think it's in the Gospel of John, don't quote me on this, but, like, somewhere in either the scriptures or our tradition, one of the apostles or disciples or church fathers says that the Bible is like just a tiny fraction of everything that has been revealed to us, right? So, because if we were to write everything down, we couldn't even fill the earth would be like blowing up of all the things that God has ever revealed to us, right? So, like, if there's something, so, like, obviously the Bible is just what's still there. I mean, obviously, there's probably a lot of lost stuff.
So do you think that there's nothing, like, no matter how, like, much we dig or how much, like, more information we find, like, there's no more canon to be added biblically? Like, you think it's all there?
No. When did I say that?
I'm asking you. I'm not saying you.
No, I mean, that's just from what we have now. Like, because, I mean, it's just like any other,
so then
like, ancient, because, you know, like, you know how much stuff was lost in, like, the burning of the Library of Alexandria, right?
No, I know. So,
like, ancient texts, right, like, we know that Aristotle wrote dialogues just like Plato, but all of his dialogues were likely lost in the Library of Alexandria.
I guess my entire point.
So there's stuff that the priests, the prophets, and the kings of the Old Testament wrote down that I'm sure that we don't have anymore. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, no, I guess my point is like you find all these old ancient scriptures, right? And the church has to determine if they're divinely inspired or if they're just like a cultural, whatever you said, traditional.
Yeah.
So it's like, what does it have to be? Like, what criteria? Like, they have to set some sort of criteria. I guess, like, the biggest one being it can't contradict the actual message.
I mean,
so, like,
that's the thing. I'm just not really an expert on it. How they determine it,
well, that's what
I don't really know.
Because, like,
I'm not really the best person to ask about that. Like, to be quite honest, my knowledge is limited in terms of that, and I don't really want to say something and get it wrong, you know?
Fair enough, but that's what's interesting to me, because, like, from all the stuff that we have of that time frame, but then the church is like, no, it's not true. But then it's like, we don't even have a fraction of it now. So it's like, God knows what's been written that I don't know how to put into words what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like it's like arrogance, to be arrogant enough that you think in modern times that you have the authority to say that something that was written back thousands of years ago that could be potentially be of God and from the Bible is just automatically not, because it doesn't fit your narrative of what you think God says. You know what I mean? Like, it's an arrogant thing.
Well, that's why we have the church as an institution that has been in humanity for 2,000 years, and it's been passed down to not only give us the full canon, but also to be able to properly interpret it, right? I mean, why do you think that people wouldn't read the Bible, like, back in the day, like your average Joe?
Well, they didn't want them to read the Bible. They didn't want anybody to read the Bible. They only wanted the clergy to do it. So
there wasn't just
tell them what to do.
lying around everywhere.
Well, I know that, but like they didn't want people to read it.
Only certain amount of people that knew how to read. Like
by design, they didn't want them to read it.
No, but I mean, most societies at that time, it wasn't just like in Western Europe. I mean, most societies throughout history don't teach the vast majority of their population how to read.
Do you ever wonder why that is?
Exactly. But the thing is, like, there's a bunch of reasons why. I mean, physically, there's no printing press. It wasn't easy to just make Bibles rain everywhere, right? But like,
I know, yeah.
But also like with the Bible, like, I mean, there's just some retard like reads it and doesn't know what it means, and then, I mean, because there's stuff in the Bible that if at face value is literally batshit crazy. Right, and if someone who doesn't properly understand that reads it, goes and makes their own sect, and then everyone kills each other, and that's literally what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's literally what happened.
Yeah, it's exactly.
So, like, is that a good thing that everyone got access to the Bible? I don't think so. I mean, it's a trade-off for sure, but.
So you think that you shouldn't be able to read it?
No, you should be able to read it, but
no, I'm saying if you were to go change history for yourself, like, you'd make it so where, like, you as a lay person, not of the church, would not be able to read the Bible. If you had your way.
I mean, I don't really think about that too much, but
think about it.
Either right, but either way,
of the perfect time and place to think about it, it is
right
now.
Well, so like either way, the church traditionally, like, I mean, you can and it's good for you, but like, you don't like you don't really read the Bible like as if it's just like any other book, you know, like in the way you would read like a novel. That's not really
I'm
the
aware.
purpose of
you have
it.
To
like
context to it. I get it, but I'm saying
no. It's not even just that. It's like because the Bible and the scriptures and whatnot are meant to be for the liturgy. Really, it's not really supposed to be a book that anyone just can sit down and read. It's supposed to be part of the life of the church. You know, at Mass, right? That's why we have all the Psalms and whatnot. And so, like, if you go to Mass for like over the course of 3 years, they preach you the whole Bible, right? Like, it's supposed to be part of like a regimented process, and it's also included with the liturgy, right? Because the words, like, I don't know, me personally, I think like just reading the Bible as if it's just any other book, like for me, I don't think the Bible isn't really supposed to be meant to be read like that. It's supposed to be like, I think first and foremost, it's part of the liturgy, right? And I hope people like I hope Protestants would see it that way, but they really don't, you know.
Yeah, they do take it more at face value.
Well, because for them, like, because their religion is entirely just the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Whereas for us, the Bible is part of our religion, but we also have the traditions, we have other writings outside the Bible, missals, you know, devotionals and whatnot. All these different kind of prayers are part of the tradition, right? And like we know that, like, you know, Saint Jerome, right? He's the guy who translated the Bible into Latin.
Okay.
And he made scribal errors, and we're very well aware of this, but it doesn't ruin anything for us. Like we know it because we don't hinge everything upon the scriptures, right? If that makes sense.
Wait, so you just accept the errors?
Well, there's scribal errors, but just because someone mistranslated something doesn't mean that what was originally written isn't bad, right? Like, you know how Moses and like some statues has like horns?
Mm-hmm.
That was because of a mistranslation, believe it or not. And we know this, and we've known this for a long time, but it doesn't really bother us as much. Whereas like for Protestants, like everything, like because like you got to remember, like, you know how like Protestants say like the Bible is the Word of God.
Yeah.
And it's like that's true, like to a degree, and like I guess in a lesser sense, but like the Word of God is Jesus Christ. Right.
Yeah, but where do you get all your information and teachings about him? Like
the church.
But from
it's a
like what I guess
it's
my
a
question
three-stooled
is what is
chair,
like what is the oldest account of Jesus' teachings from the church that isn't in the Bible?
Outside of the Bible, the oldest accounts of Jesus.
Because that's what you're saying, right? If it's not, like, you're saying if it's not in the Bible, it's like the teachings of the church. Then what's the oldest account? Of teachings
because what I was saying is like the Bible was not fully amalgamated, you know, in the first few centuries, right?
Yeah.
So people had to rely on the oral tradition, right?
That's what I'm saying. What's the earliest account of his teachings outside of the Bible that the church is like teaches now? That's what my question.
Well, that's why we have the tradition that's been passed on. Like it's
I'm aware. What's the oldest account of those? Like, do you know?
What?
Like for those traditions and the teachings passed down orally that aren't in the Bible, like, do you know like what the earliest account, like where that comes from, what time period?
You mean outside of the Bible?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know about accounts of church tradition.
Because you're saying if the Bible isn't the whole thing, so it's like the teachings of Jesus and the traditions have been just taught down through the church, you know, orally through the church throughout the millennia, whatever, right? So it's like I was just curious if you knew like the earliest account of where those came from, or if there is a written account that they're basing it off of, or if it just was orally passed down forever and it was never written down.
Well, I mean, obviously they've been, I'm sure, retroactively written down.
That's what I'm saying. Like if there's like
no, but I mean, most of the traditions are also part of the scriptures, right? Like in the New Testament, like in the epistles that St. Paul writes to the various churches. That's a huge part of the tradition, but also the big reason that it like the tradition plays a huge role is because obviously, like I said, not everyone knew how to read, right? And so people had to rely on the local priests and the bishops to preach them the gospel, because the gospel is more than just the words written down on the page. It's something you preach to the world. It's you see what I'm saying? How it's not merely the pen and the ink, the gospel is oral too. Like
No, I know.
I preach the gospel to you, and I preach the gospel to everyone, right?
I was just curious if you knew.
Because gospel means good news.
Yeah,
right?
I was just curious if you knew like what the earliest account of where it started was, or if anyone knows. Like what
I don't
it was,
know.
like who said it first, like who.
I don't really know.
Like, you know, who was the person that Jesus told that to, that passed it down? Like, I was just curious if you knew.
Well, yeah, I mean, because some guys like the Gospels, we know. So John was one of his 12 apostles. He wrote the Gospel of John, and then
Was it like he wrote like an apocryphon that's the church contests, the apocryphon of John?
the Catholic Church includes the Apocrypha. It's the Protestants that do not accept the Apocrypha.
Oh, okay. Guess
But so the other Gospels, I forget who, but like, I think St. Mark got all of his stuff from St. Paul, right? I think, but like the other Gospel writers, they got their stuff from the apostles themselves, right? So like the first generation of the church is the apostles, and then it's the people who, like, because those are the people who met Jesus, were with him, spoke with him, got his teachings firsthand, right? And so that they pass that on down to the next generation, and then the next generation after that, and so on.
When they wrote it down, was it like Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek? Like that was the language that they wrote it in, or was it more Aramaic? Like, or
No,
Hebrew?
I think it was just Greek.
Was it Greek?
Because they wanted to, because at that time, Greek was kind of like the common language of like, because like the Jews didn't know how to speak Latin, and the Romans didn't know how to speak Hebrew or Aramaic, so Greek was like the lingua franca that people would just turn to if you didn't speak that person's first language. So they wanted to reach everyone, and at that time, that was the most common language, so they wrote it in Greek.
But the Old Testament was Aramaic and Hebrew.
Yes, it's mostly Hebrew. I think there's one book that's in Aramaic. But so then there's the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Old Testament.
Jeez, there's so much fucking. It's so convoluted, the whole history of this shit.
Well, yeah, like I said,
Hard
like
to
that's
follow.
why not everything is hinged upon the scriptures. I mean, it's obviously important and you need
So,
it.
like that's why in my
It's,
mind, like from knowing that, like that's why there's so much room for like interpretation for everything, because like it's, I don't know. I think people are too close-minded about when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially when like we don't even have the vast majority of what it could be when it comes to scripture.
Well, that's
'Cause it's like,
what
you know,
I'm saying. That's
it's
why we have
source
the
material.
church to.
Like, how do you know Jesus didn't like talk to somebody else and they wrote that down and that's been lost? You know what I mean? You don't know that. The church doesn't know that.
I mean, that's a non-falsifiable claim. Like just
Well,
because
my
there's
point
a
is, you think
potential that there is.
my point is,
I
you
mean,
think that's possible.
I mean, I guess.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like-
no, that doesn't really change anything for me.
It doesn't have to change anything, but just like it just opened up a new horizon of like there could be like information that you don't know, and so just by claiming everything that's not currently in canon as like not being able to be divinely inspired, to me is crazy, because we don't have all of the information.
Yeah, but
you know that's why I think it's crazy.
Not divinely inspired doesn't mean that it's like immediately. Oh, you can't read that book. That's not really what it is.
But
It's
they claim that it's satanic or it's heresy to read that.
it depends on the book, really. I mean, like the Book of Enoch, right?
I've heard people say that's heresy to read the Book of Enoch. Or
I mean, you can read it as if it's like fan fiction, if that makes sense, right?
What I'm saying is like the claim that it isn't, because we don't have the origins of who wrote it or what its purpose was for. You know what I mean? Or it's intended like.
I mean, there's other reasons why we don't have it. I don't know all of them, but keep in mind, like I'm not a biblical expert, so
No,
I just don't like.
I'm with it because I've been reading a bunch of, because I'm always been in ancient history. I've always been into like super old shit. I'm always into source material. So it's like, where does the origin of things come from? I've always been interested in that question.
Right.
And so far, it's like, if we haven't dug it up and found it, we don't fucking know. There's civilizations we have no clue existed because we don't have records of it.
Atlantis.
Like
In
recorded.
Atlantis.
What's what I'm saying? Recorded history is only 6,000 years old.
Yeah,
and we've had civilizations far past 6,000 years. So it's like,
I don't know.
yeah, that's
I mean,
what
if we don't have written records of it, I don't know if we can.
we
prove
haven't
that.
found them. That's what my point is. Like
But then we haven't proved it yet.
That's my point.
History starts when we can read and write.
My point is
anything before that's not history, dude.
My point is we found civilizations that use hieroglyphs that are older than 6,000 years. Like,
how do we know it's older? Do we go back in time to observe that? How do we know it's that old?
Dating of it, like with dating of civilizations. That's
That's extrapolation. You're seeing now, and it just like, you didn't go back all those years to observe that, right? That's not empirical evidence.
It's not empirical evidence of older civilizations?
No, because empirical evidence is about what you can observe now, in the moment.
I mean, you have written accounts, and that's your only evidence of, like, oh, someone wrote it down, and then we date it to be this fucking time period, and like, oh, that's the best we got, and we weren't there, we have no context, we're not...
But we have the written records.
But that's all they are. You have no fucking clue who actually wrote them. They're not alive.
But I mean, that's technically all of history.
That's my point. It's all malleable. Everything
right.
is malleable. Nothing is ever set in stone. That's my entire point. It's so murky. So for us to claim that anything is arrogant is what my point is.
But I mean, there's historical events that you know happened.
We only know happened because we have a record, but we don't know.
But how do we know that record?
The winners write the history.
I just think that's like, that doesn't really get you anywhere.
The winners write the history books. Yeah, there's nothing I've ever learned that I'm like, oh, this is 100% true. It's like over 1,000 years ago. Like, we have no fucking like.
Well, I mean, that's what I think
all
is
dead, dude.
like.
There's
a difference.
We're all banking on it being true because more people wrote it down and this is widely accepted. We weren't fucking there.
Well, that's why we have the church to pass everything, and they've done that, dude.
Over thousands of years, like that has, like I don't know.
That's kind of really impressive when you think about it.
Well, if you believe that it's true, I guess. But it's the same thing. Like, you don't have empirical evidence of it.
Well, right? What I'm saying is like, let's just
say you need empirical evidence. That's not empirical evidence either.
Well, that doesn't matter because I'm not an empiricist.
Oh my god.
Where most people are.
Can't devil advocate yourself out of every.
No, I mean that doesn't apply to me because that's not part of my worldview. If that makes sense, right?
That's not my worldview either. My point is that like we don't know 100% for sure of anything. So anything you learn, you take it with a fucking grain of salt. Like I said, everything's malleable.
Yeah, but
you take the metaphors and the shit that works for you.
I mean, that's why I trust the scriptures because God was there. That's why I believe in the Genesis account, right? He was there. I mean, do you believe in the Genesis account?
I don't know what I believe. Like,
well, do you think that? Well, I guess what's your view on the Genesis account? Like, do you think it's interesting or what?
I don't know. Like I said, like
do you think it could be true?
Yeah, I extend the thing to myself. Okay. Like I would say, like, when I was in high school, I think I was more agnostic in the idea of a higher power. But as the older that I've gotten, it makes more sense for nothing to come from something as opposed of nothing coming from nothing. And so I'm not agnostic in a higher power anymore. I just don't there's nothing that I've read that truly like speaks to me like that I can say with 100% volition like that actually happened. So it either could or couldn't. I accept both realities, whether it's true or not. I don't know. I don't claim, that's my point. I don't claim that I'm arrogant enough to know 100% that's exactly what happened. I take whatever the material is that everyone's read and the things that have survived and all the traditions and orals that people have passed down, and I extrapolate it in my head to see, does this make sense to me? Do I feel this in my heart? So I don't know. There's some things that make sense to me. If they're not true, then so be it. It doesn't I don't know. I don't feel the conviction of the origins of God in the universe. I don't know for sure. That's what's keeping me from believing in anything because I don't know. I don't feel it strongly.
Well, I think the Genesis account is a lot more reliable than Darwin.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't claim to know evolution on such a level that people. I don't fucking know. I don't care.
Do you believe myths are true?
I guess so. It depends. I don't. My point is
I do.
I'm of this thing where it's like if I'm not there to verify information myself, I'm reading second, third, thousand.
Yeah, but even if you're there, why would you believe it then?
Because it's.
Why would you believe that your senses aren't deceiving you? How do you know?
Because it makes more sense. Like for example, if I do this to your fucking leg, you're experiencing me hitting you. That makes more sense than me writing down I hit Will and someone reading it and be like, huh, maybe he did or maybe he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's realistic.
Well, I mean, I do see what you're saying.
I could write down that I hit you in the leg and that I also punched you in the face, and that's the only thing that I did was hit your leg, and someone could read that and be like, you know what I mean? You don't know. We're not fucking there. You trust your senses because it's fucking real.
But that's all. I mean, that's the thing. So it's like you can either you just come to a crossroads where you could just say, oh, it's all bullshit, or okay, maybe there is still truth, and then I just need to trust the church and the traditions and what has been passed on to be able to determine what is and what is not.
I guess
right?
I don't trust it. That's my thing. I have to.
Well, that's just part of my my.
What you're asking
system,
if I believe in it? I don't believe in blind faith in humanity like that. I don't think humans.
It's not blind faith. I mean, you could clearly demonstrate why, like, you would put your faith in, like, the Catholic Church as opposed to the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, right? I think one can make a better case than the other.
Yeah,
I think right.
Well, and the next thing, I have to tie it down.
I don't
to like
have blind faith about anything really. I think you can really ground almost all of the Christian principles in, like, epistemic or metaphysical principles.
My point is that they have to come from somewhere. They have to either be passed down through telephone, or they have to have some sort of source material where they came from.
Yeah, and that's the source material it's the scriptures, and it's keep in mind the church is built on a threefold foundation. It's built on the sacred scriptures, sacred tradition, and the magisterium. You need all three of those, right? So you have this.
What's the magisterium?
The magisterium is the teaching authority of the church.
That's probably the one where I probably would believe in the least.
Why? Because
it's corrupted by humanity. We should not be the authority of anything.
Just because someone is corrupted doesn't mean they can't speak truth.
What I'm saying is it's easily corruptible without people finding out about it.
Well, that's easy to conceal. Church. The Holy Spirit protects the church from falling into error.
I guess I would just have to believe in that premise. Like, I'd have to believe that.
Yeah, because it's a part of my paradigm, right?
Yeah. I guess because I don't just believe that.
You would have to be convinced that God exists. Okay, therefore, which church? Because
I don't have to be convinced that He exists. I don't.
No, but there's other starting points and things that I accept and believe in that you don't really necessarily do, right? Because for me, there's a lot of different prerequisites, right? Okay, I believe in God. I believe He set up this church and blah blah blah, all these things. Whereas a lot of these prerequisites, you just don't really know where you stand on them, you know? Oh, shoot.
Hello.
Dang, bro. We're at 10%.
I'm surprised you didn't charge your phone throughout this whole process.
Dude, I don't... It was probably at oh, thanks for turning the line up. It was probably It was probably at 60%, and then just filming for an hour just tanked the battery.
Wipes the battery.
Yeah, it wipes it, man.
I don't know. The way I look at things is I love old literature. I love metaphors. So things have to make tangible sense for me. So I don't just accept things just because of the way that they are. You know what I mean? I don't know where I would get to a point where I believe that God protects the church. I don't know what it'll take. I don't know what it would take for me. God protected the church to be showing truths to people for thousands of years. I don't know what it would take for me to believe that. Because, from the things that I've read and the things that am interested in reading, it just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it should be part of it. I think it's just human arrogance.
Well, I mean, at that point, I think it's just, that's why I always just tell people, just pray about it, and just genuinely ask God, what's going on, what's the truth? What's the true church? What's the true thing? Anything, right? And if you feel something, start with that, that's the best you got.
I don't know where people get this conviction from, because I've obviously grew up religious, and I've got nothing. It's always just been me being pensively reflecting and thinking about my actions, my choices, and my guesses of the world outside of Earth. I've never felt anything ever talking back to me. I've never gotten that conviction. So I've tried. It just doesn't.
It's not. I'm not saying that you necessarily think this, but it isn't really talking you hear a little
I know,
voice.
Understand that. You think something and then you feel a conviction that's God talking through you to do something. I'm not supposed to physically hear a voice. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I've never thought something came to me outside of my own self. I've never felt an outwardly presence influencing me. Oh, God calls me to go to fucking Africa. I don't get shit like that. It's always just been reflecting on my life and trying to make better choices. And I guess if that's the influence, then sure. But I've never felt it came outside.
Right. Because you have to keep in mind, God is a personal God, right? He's not impersonal. He's not an abstract force, right? Of geometric forms. He's a person, right? So obviously you do need to have that personal experience And if you haven't, then I mean, I don't blame you for believing what you believe, but you would. I think you probably
Look,
have to
it's
have
not
that
coming from a place
experience.
of resistance. It's coming from
Yeah.
like not feeling it and then looking at like the actual, because like it interests me, like the whole like spirituality interests me from also Buddhism as well and from other religions and also like animistic religions. It's like the whole concept for thousands of years. I like learning and reading about it, but just as a personal thing, it's just like there's some parts that resonate with me, make sense, and there's other parts that just seem like it's just we're so caught up in thinking that we're so smart and we can just tell how it is to everybody else. Like that's a lot of that to me too, is what it seems like.
I mean, I think a lot of it is you're just turned off by a lot of like the history of the church. And, like, the fuck
even
shit.
that aside, like it's just
and
just
I
the
don't
concept
blame
that
you.
like a human entity and a human organization is devoid of corruption for that period of time, for it to be now have fallen. So it's like, what are the rules we're playing with here? Like it's just there's no.
What hasn't fallen?
I thought you just said the church has fallen.
No, the church has never fallen.
You said now it's fallen. Didn't you tell me that the devil like infiltrated like the Pope or some shit?
No, I mean like in terms of the like administration of it, the church is. I mean.
So then why is the administration back then better
No,
than it
I
was
mean,
now?
I mean, think about it like this.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. It's shit like
no,
this
like,
that turns me off to it.
Think about this.
Sounds like
It's
conjecture.
like the church is perfect. It's church men that are not, right? The church is more than just the men who run it, right?
Yeah, but
Like,
it's the church
that?
it doesn't pump out information on its own. Men have to fucking guide. Like what?
Yeah, that's why we have the Holy Spirit.
See, that's the part where that's always like I've never accepted that as an answer. Like we are the vessels that we display information. Like I don't believe that all the information that you believe is only been protected from God, but all the other shit is not. Like it comes from the same place. Doesn't matter. Like thousands of people have gone through the system. Like what?
All religions have parts of the truth. It's just that Catholicism has all of the truth, right? And all of those truths in other religions are illuminated through Christ, right? Because like no religion or people or society is totally devoid of truth, right? But some people, unfortunately, were just, very far away from the Israelites and the Holy Land, right? And they just never heard the gospel until very recently, right? I mean, those people just, they worked with the best they had and they came up with something, right? So that's why like how like Buddhism and its errors is a lot, like you can be more forgiving of that than like the errors of Protestantism, because they come from the same tradition but they reject that tradition, right?
I guess like, cause I don't view it from a lens like of reading it like, oh, this is how the universe actually is, or I believe in the concepts. It's just taking the actual philosophy and the metaphors of it to like enhance your life. So it's like like I said, it's just useful for reflective purposes. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I mean, it is,
lens.
but I mean, that has nothing to do with whether or not it's the truth,
Well, my point
that's
is
really
like,
what it is.
I don't
once
know
you realize it's the truth, that's when because a lot of people think about like when they're discerning about like different religions, different philosophies or whatever it is, they just kind of think about like, well, how is this going to affect my life or whatnot, but there really is no concern of, well, what is true, and so once you go on that rabbit hole and you really get well versed in like philosophy, history, all of the traditional subjects of the classical Western educational tradition, that's when like you realize, okay, like it makes sense because it's all made by one God. It's a university, right? That's what the university system was. It was the universal body of knowledge, right? And that's why everyone would go there to study, and it was free, actually.
What a fucking luxury.
Yeah, I mean, people would go all across Europe to go listen to somebody read a book. Like the first universities,
I don't know, it's just like, for thousands of years, like whoever controlled the information controlled the people, and that was very useful to all the elites of any ruling class of society.
That's very true.
So it's like, I don't know, it's like, I'm not claiming to know truth. What I'm saying is like, I try to take my own truths from every single nugget of thing that I read, but I just think it's insane that people like the truth can't be bended from newer information. Like that's the only thing.
Yeah,
that
but I
think
mean,
is
obviously,
crazy.
the our traditions, the scriptures talk a lot about that, like about the fuck shit that the different kings did in the Bible and the different stories in the Old Testament, right? I mean, like we this has been around forever, right?
Yeah.
But that's why it's miraculous that, in spite of all of this disagreement, in spite of all of this war and conflict and just, all the bad things you could think about, the fact that there has always been this institution that has never fallen and it's still there. It's like the microcosm, it's like the vessel of all of humanity, right? It's like the new Ark of the Covenant, right? That holds the how the Ark of the Covenant held the Ten Commandments, right? Mm-hmm. Like holds the teachings, right? That can guide men on earth, right? And I mean, I guess it's hard for you to just accept that out of the get-go, but that's just how we think about it, I guess.
No, I don't have a problem with accepting anything. It's just like, I don't know. Just I feel like people just. I just think shit is way older than like people give us credit for, and like we've tried to make sense of the universe and the world around us and why things happen for so fucking long. So like for you to accept any sort of authority on anything, like you just have to trust in the first person that wrote it and the second and third and fourth and fifth and hundreds of translations thereafter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, but then
I can't
think
read
that
something that's 1,000 years old or 2,000 years old and be like, this is exactly how it was intended. You know what I mean? Like, I just.
Right, but I mean, that's why I think that's when like you realize that, well, the skepticism like can be applied to technically anything.
That's what.
So it's like either everything is bullshit, or like there's like, do you think that everything is bullshit, or okay, maybe some of it is, some of it isn't?
I think it's a mixture of both.
That's why we have the church to guide us.
There's truth and falsities and everything. That's why I'm saying I can't be 100% certain either way.
What's the standard by which you know that? That's really what it is.
I don't know.
That's why in my system I have a standard, right?
My point is like you can't rely on a standard that has been like passed down for so long.
Yeah, you can. It's worked for that long.
What it would take for me to be like I would literally.
But that's arbitrary. Like, how do you know what is true and what is not?
I don't. That's my point. I don't know. That's why I have
to.
So
then, if you don't know, then exactly.
If I don't know what?
But you're saying you know, but then you don't know. I just don't.
No,
really
what I'm saying
it.
is like there's every single thing that I've ever read. Like I said, I always have in the back of my head the thing that I believe or the thing that I'm reading could not have actually happened the way that it was written, or this could not actually be true, or the thing, because like I say shit all the time that I hear from somewhere that sounds like it makes sense, and then I actually go do it, and it's like, oh, this is not actually true. Like I don't like. There's no hill that I'll die on because like we're fucking so imperfect as people, and we just. You ever play telephone? Sit in a room with 20 people and tell them something. It's gonna be different when it goes back around the circle. So you expect me to believe that for thousands of years.
What's the standard by which you know that something is true?
I guess I'd have to firsthand experience it myself. I guess is
the best. But then why would that? Like I said, why would you not believe that your senses are deceiving you? This is
because
arbitrary.
It's made more sense and it's been more right than it was wrong in my lifetime. Like anytime someone tells me something,
what is the
for
standard?
example? I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
So it's like I work on guitars for a living.
Mm-hmm.
For a long ass time, people were always telling me that if if you string something with a specific gauge or specific like height, it'll give you a very direct sound.
Okay.
And so that's the thing I believe, and that's what I tell people. And then I would string it up and I would do it the same way, and then I would get like a totally opposite sound some of the time. So it's like nothing is ever absolute. And so like for me actually physically doing it, it's a totally different experience than what someone told me, even though that's the accepted way to do it. So it's like your senses are more accurate than what someone else is telling you. Your senses deceive you sometimes.
So is it absolute that nothing is absolute?
I guess so.
So then that's self-refuting.
No, it's not, because
yes, it is.
It's not self-refuting. I'm just saying I don't have the arrogance to like say like if I tell you something I believe and someone says no, you're wrong. Like I'm never gonna be like, oh, I'm like I know that I'm right. Nothing will change that. You know what I mean? Like it'll change it with new information that makes more fucking sense than what someone told me or it's something that I figured out on my own. So I work with what I have. That's all we can do as people.
So then you just rely on sense data.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
God, you have God, and you have
but you're relying on your senses to interpret that, and that if it works for your life, then you're like.
It works for what do you mean to work? Like that's
like, I don't know, like what
you're assuming. Like when you say all these things like works, or like all of these things, like this assumes that there's some kind of standard or ontological external world that needs to be is mapped up to, right? Like we say it works, like works for what, right?
With whatever you're trying to achieve. We're talking vaguely. I don't know if you want to pick a specific thing, sure, but like what I'm saying is like if I'm going to build something and someone tells me how to build something and then I end up doing something different, like, oh, this works way better than what they told me. Now what I know is better than what they told me until someone else comes out with a better way and tells me that. So like if I'm so arrogant, like, oh, my way is right because it works and that guy is wrong, I'm not going to accept new information. That's my point.
Well, yeah, so like to build something, you need a framework, right? So it's not a question of like, well, this material works better. I mean, that's important, but it's a framework level argument, right? It's a question of like think about it like this: like it's not about like thinking outside of the box. It's about which box are you gonna think in, right? Have you ever thought about it like that?
Sounds like word salad. Like, what do you mean?
Well, you're familiar with the phrase "think outside of the box," right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, for me, like, my worldview, I don't really think it's possible to think outside the box. It's a question of
I mean, it's just a
which
metaphor
box,
for being creative. Like, what?
No, I see I understand what it's saying, but what I'm trying to tell you is that that's not really what it's about. It's about which box are you going to choose to think in, right? Like, it's like, which lens are you getting, like all these other worldviews, even if they're false, like, you could still look at them like as if they're a lens, right?
I just don't think
it's not possible really to be like neutral as your starting point, and then you just go off of the evidence. That like that's not like we all have worldviews, and all evidence has to be interpreted through a framework, right? So it's a question of frameworks and which framework is the correct for interpreting the evidence. Can you see what I'm saying?
Well, it's depending on your anecdotal experience, because here's a question for you. Like, if you grew up in, I don't know, fucking India, or if you grew up in Tibet, right, and your parents were Buddhist, do you think that you'd still come to God in a Christian sense? Or do you think that
I hope, but that has nothing to do with whether or not it's true or false.
No, my point is, like, it's your experience. It's what you've been told growing up, like, and you feel that conviction because
yeah, but I have to come to the decision as an adult, do I believe this or not, right?
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that you would continue to do that from a Buddhist framework, or do you think that you would go to a Christian framework from growing up outside of Catholicism when you're a kid?
I mean, I don't really know if I would, but I can. That's why.
Well,
I mean, there's people who come from those backgrounds who do.
Like, you knowing yourself.
They can.
Like, you knowing yourself and you thinking about, like, as a critical thinking exercise, if you were to grow up in a different culture than what you have now,
right.
Do you think that you would fall into, like, some people do. Some people, like, they change and they convert, right? Some people do that.
I don't really know if I can answer that question.
You don't, but you can't guess what you think?
I don't know. I mean, could be. It just doesn't make a difference to me if that makes sense.
I mean, it would be a whole change. Like you would like what you believe would be different, you know.
Yeah.
So like that's the experience that you have. That's the information that was given to you. That's what you would believe until a certain point, until you'd either detract and not believe at all, or until you convert to a different religion. You know what I mean? Like, you either do or don't. But my point is, like,
yeah, but it's
you have to have that
just
conviction.
Because people are grown up believing that 2 + 2 = 5 doesn't mean that 2 + 2 = 5.
Well, you have to use deduction to realize, like adding 2 doesn't equal 5. So, like, you have to look at it empirically. You have to look at what's
what if it's a society that does math in a different way and they have different concepts of numbers, right?
I mean, math is very specific, though. We don't invent math. Like, math just works because it's a pattern we discover. You can't just make it up.
Exactly. Math is real. It's discovered. Yeah. It's not invented.
You have to, like, math, you
kind
of have to follow the rules of math.
Not everyone believes that, though.
Unless you can time travel.
Right. So just because, like, think of it like this. Like, the truth is 2 + 2 = 4. Just because I grow up in a society, or there are societies that don't believe that, doesn't mean that 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4.
every person that's Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, they believe that their truth is the objective truth. Every single person that has that conviction.
There's people who disagree about different scientific theories or whatever, but that doesn't mean that there isn't one truth. That
but everyone believes. My point is, everyone believes theirs is, and like from the evidence.
That's a fallacy, though. Just because everyone believes that their religion is true doesn't mean that my religion is false.
I'm not saying yours is false. I'm saying everyone has that same sort of conviction, that same sort of thinking.
Right, but I can give you an account as to why my, like.
Well, how can you deny everyone else's account?
Because they don't work. Like you said, it's like math.
Well, I guess for Judaism,
the equation does not.
Well, you'd admit that Judaism is older than Christianity, right? So, like, you think theirs
not
is not
Judaism now, no, because Judaism now was made up in like the first few centuries. We are the continuers of the Jewish religion, right? And like the way it was practiced.
So, like, if you read the Torah, right?
Yeah.
It's like you think the stuff in the Torah isn't true.
No, the stuff in the Torah is true, but you got to remember, like.
First of all,
modern day Judaism
is the Torah just like stuff in the Old Testament plus like I don't even really know what is even in the Torah. Judaism is one of those things I don't know anything about.
So the Torah is just the first 5 books of the Old Testament.
Okay.
So like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, I think.
Yeah.
It's just the first 5 of the books of the Bible, but modern Judaism, which is rabbinic Judaism, is based not only in the Torah but also in the Talmud. Yeah. Which was a book written, like in the first few centuries, right? That came out of the Jewish diaspora tradition, because they were expelled by the Romans, right? And they lost their homeland, right? So the Jews in various places, they developed the Talmudic tradition, and they also have a bunch of other texts like the Zohar. I don't know if you're familiar with the Zohar. Mm-hmm. Really esoteric text, as well as the Kabbalah.
I've heard the Kabbalah.
Everyone's talking about that now. Yeah. That's like
and
Jewish
the fucking
magic.
Owl god and shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So like modern day Judaism isn't really about the Torah so much as it's based in the Talmud and the Kabbalah and all those other kind of things, which we obviously do not accept as Christians.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, like, Judaism, like, there hasn't been a practicing Jew in that sense since the time of Christ. Because Judaism was abolished when Christ came.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that just kind of, I think that demonstrates that Judaism is not the true religion. Right? Because it doesn't accept Christ.
It was funny. You got to get like both people that study all that shit, like that's Christian, the one that's Jewish, and like they'll argue about that back and forth. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's like I don't know. Like it's.
Well, you mean in terms of like how to read the text, or which texts are like.
Like what is the objective truth between?
Well, that's why we have the church to be able to read the text.
Yeah, but that's why they have there. That's what I'm saying. Like both of those informations. Like for me, like looking.
Yeah, but the church was instituted by Christ. I think that's a really key thing you need to understand. It wasn't like the church kind of just was like a tacked on thing that came about. No, like Christ instituted the church. That's a very key understanding to have, right?
Like I said, I think if you're asking me, like it's a silly answer, but like, what it would take for me, I literally would have to travel back in time and understand, like inherit from his mouth. I think that's what it would take.
But you can't do that.
I know I can't do that.
So given the tools we have to work with now, what would it take?
I don't think there are any, I don't think.
What about like a personal experience with Jesus? Whatever that might entail, I don't know. I can't tell you what that is.
If I saw something extraordinary, then that I couldn't explain with like modern laws of physics and fucking my own senses, then sure. I don't know. But then someone could be fucking with me as technology gets greater. That's harder to distinguish as the technology advances. Like we're gonna be a dystopian hellscape, and I don't know what the fuck is. Like AI is so good now. Like before it was so shitty. Yeah. Like it's gonna get to a point where like I have no idea what's real at all.
Dude, I remember ChatGPT from like 3 years ago was like the worst, most corniest thing ever. Now it's actually really good.
I think honestly that part of that, because like I've had that realization since I was a kid, so it's like looking at all the disinformation just like around me and like what I had to learn, and just looking like from news stories and from what the government does and what they. So I think a lot of that kind of jades me too. So it's like anytime I read something, that's why I always feel like I don't know if this is true or not. if I don't experience it, because like it's just we've been lied to so much about fucking everything. It's like hard to really discern what actually feels true or not, you know. So
Right.
I'm looking towards the past for like nuggets of like this makes sense, this is this, blah 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 blah, and then piecing it together and try to live my life in a better framework.
I mean, it's just.
I don't feel it, so I have.
It's kind of hard to describe. I mean, it's like I mean, it's just like the way that I read text and the way I operate. Like, it's just because like I believe all myths are true, right? I believe in a lot of things a lot of people wouldn't think are true, but I just truly believe that the world is illuminated, right? So like if I read the Egyptian Book of the Dead, there's a lot of real things in that, right? And I can trust that account.
Yeah.
Right? And the same thing with all these texts of the ancient world, right? Like the writings of Plato, Plotinus, right? Those are even older than the Bible, right? And like,
the allegory of the cave.
Right, but I mean, like, would
pretty
you?
much the same premise.
Do you believe that was truly written down by Plato, or would you also say like I don't really know?
Well, it could be. It's the same thing. Like we don't know his intention of like if like because people always think his written account of Atlantis was a metaphor. It was a fictional story. It was a warning of what could happen to Greece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like that whole thing is disputed. So it's like it's scholars' interpretations of the context of what he wrote down. I mean, you're physically seeing. You know what I mean? So it's like
right,
if
but
I
you
read
believe
something
the
from
text was real.
I don't like. Here's the thing. So like if I read Plato, right? And if I like, how can I 100% believe that what I'm reading today is what Plato actually said?
Well, that's the thing. You just
that's my point.
That's where faith comes in. It's not just necessarily faith about God, but it's just
I don't have that faith because like in my mind, like someone could like it's totally possible that somebody could just wrote something down that Plato didn't say, and then we just modern context Plato said this like. Who gives a shit?
I mean, it could be, but it's well. That's the thing. That's
I don't care.
That's what scholarship entails.
The whole thing could be plagiarized. I don't give a fuck.
Right,
it doesn't change it to me.
But that's the thing. So like when people study Plato,
thousands of years ago,
it's not just the writings of Plato, because obviously we know the people who Plato knew. So then we compare their writings. Like it's not just his writings, right?
Yeah, I'm aware. So it's like it's more likely
like, we know
possible.
Aristotle knew Plato, and then we look at his writings and all that.
If you're looking statistics, like it's a more favorable percentage that Plato did write the shit as opposed to not. What I'm saying is like I don't like there's no 100% of anything. So it's like
ultimately, technically, no one can know though.
Well, that's what my point is.
But then,
who cares?
But you know deep down that we do know something. So then, what is it that we know? And then that's.
So like if you're to ask me if I think that he wrote down that book, sure.
Yeah.
But I also accept the fact that like if ever comes out as some more information that it makes more sense that he didn't, fucking I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
My point is I don't care. Like it won't change my life if he didn't write any of it. I don't care.
He didn't write the cave.
Yeah, he didn't write it.
That would be like the biggest like
my point is I don't care who writes anything. I just am looking at what is written, and if it resonates with me, then that's what I stick with. I don't give a shit. That's kind of where I come from. But I also accept the fact that like it doesn't like I don't fucking know. Like
have you read the Egyptian Book of the Dead?
No.
Do you want to borrow it?
Yeah. Do you have it?
I do.
I do want to read it.
It's
I have the Tibetan Book of the Dead. That shit's not readable.
Can I?
It's not readable. It's mantras. Like it doesn't make sense.
Oh, it's like prayers and stuff.
Yeah, you have to like have to have like a teacher like read it, like give you its context because it's literally just mantras over and over again. It's like verbal prayers that you're supposed to chant and shit. It's not readable.
That's part of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, but not the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like it gives you like an intro, a lot of the context with it because it's a lot of it's like like funeral rites that priests would have to like look at to perform the mummies and all that. Egypt is a really really cool place.
The other thing with Buddhism that it's so hard to fucking like because like there are so many books and there's so many like different versions
kind of Buddhism
and there's different type like it's such a hard like thing to read about, especially with translations. Like there's a lot of translations that aren't great, so you really have to hunt for find the ones that are actually good translations.
Well, their sacred texts I believe are written in Pali, which the language of Buddha, because he was from Nepal.
Yeah.
And that's related to Sanskrit. I know that.
Yeah.
But what's like the Bible of Buddhism? I guess you could say.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many different like it's.
But they don't all kind of agree that this is the one text we can because like at least you know how like, because you know how all Christians technically can agree. Yeah, we have the Bible as like the Christian text, right? Whereas, and of course, you have the Catholics and Protestants, Orthodox, but they can all agree that there is a Bible and it's like the basis of Christianity, I guess. Like, and like with Hinduism, there's the Vedas, right? Yeah. And all the Hindus, even if they disagree in the different schools of thought, they can agree. Yeah, the Vedas are like our founding text. Like, what are the founding texts of Buddhism?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that have written scrolls that claim that they've like.
But like the original, like did Buddha write anything?
I don't think so.
He didn't?
I don't think he wrote anything down. I may be wrong about that, but like, because I remember when I was trying to look up like which ones to read, it was very difficult. Like I couldn't find like a.
Okay.
Like, especially because like Tibetan Buddhism is even crazier than regular.
That's like Ethiopian Christianity.
It's crazy as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. The thunderbolt of knowledge.
I mean, there's premise
or whatever
like,
they call
there's
it.
Like, you know, like the premise of like reincarnation and dharma, stuff like that. The wheel, like that's like found in a bunch of different texts.
And that's related to like the Hindu wheel of time, right?
Yeah, it's kind of condensate. So it's like and that's kind of my thing. Like when you're looking at all this ancient shit with so much writing and so many different accounts and so many translations, like it's so hard to keep track of what the fuck, you know. So I don't know.
I mean, that's why I like.
When I was looking at stuff to read, it was very fucking difficult. I couldn't find one thing the only thing that I found was like people were saying like that actually spoke those languages or like had an understanding of languages. Like there was one translated version of the Tibetan Book of the Dead that they thought was like the best, and like I have it, and it's like I said, it's you can't just read it. I mean, you can read it, but like it's not.
You're not gonna get the true experience.
Yeah, you're not gonna get it. You have to like have somebody like if something. Oh, this sounds kind of cool. What does this mean? You have to fucking
and you need like
research
the incense and the home.
Yeah, you have to research like
it's a vibe.
What's the context of this verse, or what did they traditionally use this verse to do? Like you know what I mean?
I mean, the Bible's kind of like that too.
Yeah.
In some places, because some of the stuff.
Yeah, but the Bible is written more metaphorically. Like this is literally just like
funeral rites.
Yeah,
it's as if like you're reading.
It's like oh holy whatever, or like I do this, I do that. Like come on to me this. It's shit like that. So it's like I don't know what they were doing this for. There's no context explaining what this mantra was for. You know what I mean?
Well, because you need the context of the culture of like because it's just references to all.
Well, because
like
they use mantras to do very specific things. So it's like why are they doing this? Like there's no context of that in the book that I have. Like there's no like bibliography like oh like read this asterisk, what was this mantra for? Like there's none of that. It's just you fucking read the shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I was gonna say with like my Christian faith, right, and like the different myths, right, because like when it comes to the different religions and whatnot, because like I said, I think all myths are true, but Christ is the myth that completes all myths, if that makes sense.
And so once being like the final decider of truth, pretty much, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, because I believe that all the different religions and whatnot, they're all precursors of it, right? And so, and they're foreshadows of it, and so Christ is the ultimate thing that they were all expecting, even if they didn't realize it, right? Because like with the flood, right, and everyone gets separated, I think all of the myths, whether it's Norse mythology, Egyptian mythology, Greek mythology, it's all the gospel, it's just really jumbled. You know, because they all have kind of some kind of account of a flood, a creation story, you know, like a fall of man and stuff like that. They all have something, because that's just all they had to work with. And they had something, someone gave them something, and it's the truth, right? Like I said, it's the gospel, it's just jumbled. Whereas there's the true gospel that illuminates all of it, right? That's why, like, you know, like there's churches in like Iceland and Norway that like they have Norse mythology, like mythological art in the church, because it's like that is part of the tapestry of their conversion to Christ, right? It's not like you just throw out and you have to renounce your own culture when you hear the gospel. No, it's the gospel elevates the good things that are already there, and then you see it in the light of everything, right? That's why like you could be a Viking and a Christian. Yeah. You know, and a lot of the Vikings became Christian. You know.
Who was the first one that was like a? What was it? He was a ruler of some country, either France or Italy, but he was originally pagan, Norse. What the fuck was his name?
Was it
Was it Rollo?
Was it Clovis?
I don't remember. I think was it
Okay.
Rollo?
I can't remember, but yeah, there was a king in Western Europe. He was pagan and then he became Christian.
Yeah.
And I know Clovis was like that. His wife was Christian,
Yeah.
but he was pagan. But then he eventually became a Christian.
Did you ever see the show Vikings? You ever watched it?
No, but you told me it's good.
I'm telling you, they always play with that concept because like the main guy, like they base it off of Ragnar Lothbrok, and they have a bunch of different historical people, but they're in different periods of history, but they merge them in one timeline, so they're all in the same timeline. But the story is like basically how like they're trying to expand west, like obviously like they go attack England. He finds England, and then he meets a monk named Athelstan. And he becomes friends with him, so he was learning about his Christian religion while he was learning about his pagan, like, Viking religion.
Yeah.
And basically, everyone else gets jealous and kills him because, like, they just don't like Christians and so like that. And then they eventually go to attack Paris, and his brother, who was Rollo in the series, like, basically becomes, like, the king of Francia eventually. And so he betrays the Vikings. But the whole premise was that they made Ragnar, like, it was revealed that he didn't actually believe the anything. So like he didn't believe in the Viking Norse gods, and he only wanted to try to believe in like the Christian God. So like when he died, he could be with Athelstan again, but he didn't believe in it either. Because there was a scene that was kind of cool. They were taking a bunch of like priests and like to the city as hostages, and basically instead of killing them, he wanted to be baptized, and the priests were like, no, we can't baptize you, you're heathen. He's like, is this not a body of water? Is this not, like, are you not a man of God? Like, baptize me right now. So like he wanted to be baptized in the hope that he could be reunited with him after death. It's kind of a cool premise that they play. It's a really good, well-written show.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, rulers who were a certain religion in name, but like didn't actually believe. Like a lot of the sultans from like the Ottoman Empire like didn't even believe in Islam.
Yeah. Well, no,
they just kind of saw it as like a tool for conquest and stuff like that.
My point is like the way that they wrote him was like he didn't know like what was actually true. All he wanted was like the
You said a positive